Hello, and thank you for joining us in our podcast called Growth Journey. This is the place where you will start your personal growth and development. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Sheryl Hart. So imagine that you are driving, going on a road trip, going somewhere, and along the way, you've seen so many great scenery, right? Maybe a farm field or maybe the ocean. If you're driving along the coast, I've done driving along the coast before, and a long time ago, probably when I was in my early 20s. So when we were driving along the coast from Portland, Oregon down to Eugene, and I believe heading towards to San Francisco. But we didn't make it to San Francisco, unfortunately. We made a detour. The very exciting part is when we were driving along the coast, you have driven in style, right? You have to drive in style. You just have to. You just have to drive in style. So ending up renting a red convertible Mustang. Oh, that was fun. That's a lot of fun. You know how driving in a top-down convertible while your air is blowing up in the air with sunglasses on? Oh, I'm loving it. It's like you are in a perfect life, right? And all your plans going on a road trip are going smoothly and you enjoy every minute of it. And that's how it feels like when you are living the perfect life, right? Even if you for just a minute or even for a few hours, you don't want to end it. You're gonna be sad if it ends. So it was a really great experience to drive along the coast, looking out the ocean, driving in a style in a red convertible Mustang. So that was a really fun trip. But what if suddenly there are some unexpected things that come into your life or something that you didn't planned it, or it's like something coming up out of nowhere and caught you off guard or by surprise, and you don't know what happened and where this coming from, and you have things to that they call setbacks, right? So I try to on regular basis. I post on social media like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I think those are the three major how I call it, a social media that platform that I always share my thoughts, quotes, and whatever got going on with the podcast, or sometimes, to entertain or to share some insights or what have you. Those are the platform that I use. Sometimes something that pop up in my mind, and I write it down and right away sharing it and post it so I won't forget. So one of a great friend of mine is going through some setbacks. So I was talking to him recently, that he's going to some setbacks, and my mind just kicked in to write something. So when I mind start kicking in and write something, and then I post it and sharing it to the social media. Little did I know, a lot of people are experiencing the same thing and some setbacks. So I informed them that they inspired me to create a podcast episode regarding setbacks. So here we are today. You're listening to it right now. So if you one of those I'm connected with in Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, this is the episode for you, and you know who you are, who submit some insights, comments, and sharing your thoughts about setbacks. So with that in mind, I wrote a quote about setbacks, and here it is. Here's what I said: setbacks are only temporary. As long as you are working on something bigger and better, don't give up. Be resilient. Okay, setbacks are only temporarily as long as you are working on something bigger and better. Don't give up, be resilient. So let's take a pause for a few minutes here and think this through with me on how and why I say this about setbacks. And I will break this quote down into four. So we're gonna create this quote that I just created out of nowhere. And we'll use this as our teaching point today about setbacks. Okay, so are you ready? Make sure you have a pen ready. You can write things down in your notes or your journal or in your iPad, in your iPhone, notes, what have you. Get ready, and you're going to learn something here, okay? So I know you're ready because I know you are born ready, right? Like me. So here you go. So the first one is setbacks are temporary. Simple enough, but sometimes it's hard to accept it, right? That it is temporary. But we have to remind ourselves that it is temporary. And we will get through it. We will get through it. As we all know, we all have setbacks. Every one of us has them. And you are not alone. Name a human being. By the way, name a human being who are living and breathing on this planet Earth who do not have setbacks. I have never met any person who doesn't have setbacks except if they are already living in a cemetery. And that's not you because you're listening right now to my podcast. So if you hear me right now, you are living and breathing and you have setbacks. Everyone has them. I have them. You have them. Everyone around you have them. Okay? So we are living and breathing human being. We all have setbacks. So I hope I make that clear that you are not alone. You are not alone. Since this is the case, not if, this is the case, setbacks should be temporary. And we need to keep that in mind. We know that we all have them and it's not permanent. It's not permanent anyway. I don't believe they are permanent. Why? Because one way or another, you will find your own way on how to get out of it and get back up again. You will then be able to leave that temporary setbacks behind. Sometimes you need to find someone who can help you and to go through it with you while you are in a setback mode. You don't have to do it alone. Find and seek help. That's what I advise. Find and seek help so that you can get back again quickly. However, to some people, even if they got out of the setbacks or the temporary setbacks, they still linger with it. And subconsciously, for some reason, they're staying on the same situation, even if it was already been resolved. It was hard for them to move on and move forward with their life, lingering on these temporary setbacks. So what are some common examples of setbacks or temporary setbacks? So I made a few lists of it. Maybe you can add more into it. And it's kind of good to have some sort of list of this, so you have something to go back to. So when the time when you're facing setbacks and this is one of your list, then you can think it, yep, it's only temporary, right? So we kind of have to program ourselves that they are temporary because this is what I view it. This is how temporary it is and why. All right. So this is some of the temporary setbacks that I just pop up in my head that truly is temporary. So one of those is financial loss. So when you're facing a financial loss right now, let's say you lost a job, lost a business, or you file bankruptcy or file a divorce. Since, filing the divorce, you are down from 2 income to now 1 income. And maybe your car broke down and you need a car, or your microwave just blow up and you need to replace it, or your refrigerator, it's not working and you need to replace them. You have medical bills perhaps that you need to pay, and anything tied into financial investment and so on. Those are, I view them as a temporary setbacks, anything that financial. Because to me, you can find a work in due time, and you can work 2 to 3 jobs temporarily to work yourself out of it and getting ahead, hopefully financially, in the next few months, 6 months, a year maybe, or 2 years, what have you. Those are only temporary. If you focus on it, you will get out of it. So that's a financial loss or financial situation that I think are temporary. It's not permanent unless you make it permanent, right? Only you can make that decision if you want to make it permanent. Another list that probably you can put on is health. How about your health? Maybe there are some health problems that you are going through right now, and maybe something that you need to deal with, or maybe one of your family members are going through a tough situation where they have health problems, right? And a lot of them are also temporary. A lot of doctors that who can help you out medically, and they can provide the support to you, the service to you, and help you, get through it. Those are also temporary setback. And maybe because of this health, you are unable to work. You cannot go back to work because of the health problem that you have, and you will trying to work on it, and you will get back again. And it's just give you some time, your body and mind, to recover from it and heal from those health problems that you have. So those are some of the temporary setbacks that I can think of right now on top of my head, and maybe you can add more into this list, that you can view as a temporary. So the key identify, for me, the key identification or label them as a temporary, something that you can get back up, something that you can just work hard on it, just in due time, small time, and you will get back again, like financial loss or something that will take you time to heal your body and your mind, but knowing that it's not permanent, okay? It's only make it permanent if you make that permanent, all right? So the second one in my quote is, or the key points that we're going to talk about is working on something bigger and better. Working on something bigger and better. So let's clearly define what setback means. Okay, let's take a pause for a minute and let's define what setback means. So it means that setback is an interruption in progress. So someone interrupted you while you're making progress. It's something that you are in a straight line and somehow someone cut you off, right? So kind of little setbacks there that you temporarily pause in what you're doing. So this is why it's so important to have a bigger picture on what do you want out of life. What do you want? From our previous episodes, we talk about how to identify your dreams, find your purpose, your why, find out what are you passionate about, and if you are driven with purpose. So to me, these are a great starting point to formulate your bigger picture, because from here on out, you can then create something or do the things that you are meant to do and create. Maybe you could create a product, a services that people would like to have or would like to buy it from you, or something that you freely wanted to share without any monetary equivalent to it, or what have you, right? You gotta have a big picture on what do you want to do and what do you want out of life. So this is something that working on something bigger and better. And when you do so, take a note of this, when you do so, all of the temporary setbacks that you will experience along the way, it won't affect you as much. Why? Because you have a bigger and better things to do and to work on towards, and you will focus on bigger things, not the small things. I remember a quote that says, you have to be bigger than the problem is. Isn't it true that you have to be bigger than the problem is? And it is true. You have to be bigger. You have to have a bigger vision, so you don't have to sweat the small stuff. You don't have to sweat the small stuff, because at the end of the day, they are really just small stuff. Also, having a bigger picture allows you to keep your eyes trained on the ultimate goal. It will also keep your final destination in sight. Knowing this, those temporary setbacks won't deter you in any way as much. Instead, you will be inspired and motivate you to get back up again. So don't waste any time, as much time, because your bigger picture or ultimate goal is waiting for you to get there. Okay? How does this sound? So far, we discussed a temporary setbacks, only temporary. The second one is working on something bigger and better. Working something bigger and better. Get the bigger picture and work on it. Okay? So the third one is don't give up. Don't give up. So Marilyn Savant have said it perfectly. She said, being defeated is often a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. Again, you only make it permanent, the setback, if you decide to do so. Only you can decide that. But if you think it's only permanent, everything is permanent. Okay? So once you have a bigger picture and bigger and better picture inside, and this is what you are called to do, your purpose, your passion, then don't give up. Keep working on it, no matter how many setbacks you have along the way. Also, per Mary Kay Ash, she said, one of the secrets of success is to refuse to let temporary setbacks defeat us. That's a really good reminder. So the fourth one is be resilient. Be resilient. You are experiencing setbacks and you feel helpless. I know it. I've done it too. You feel helpless because no matter what you do or how hard you try, it seems there's no way out. And you will feel that there is no light in a tunnel, isn't it? There's no light in a tunnel. This is the point where you just wanted to give up. For many of us, it is easy to just give up, right? It's very easy to decide to give up and not to pursue the bigger and better things that you want to do out of life. And this is the key, I view resilience as the antidote when you feel like giving up. Why? Okay, let me explain what I've said. So, I view resilience as your antidote when you feel like giving up. So in episode number 9, if you want to recall the episode number 9, that I talk about how to build and hone your skills of being resilient. So resilience is a skills, behavior, thoughts, and actions. And that good things about it is that this can be learned because it is already within us. So we have resilience within us. We just have to find a way on how to hone these skills and perfect them. Okay? So Nelson Mandela is one of my favorite person. And this is what he said. Resilience is the greatest glory in living life. It's not in never failing at all, but it is rising every time we fall. Every time we fall. When you learn and hone your skills to become resilient, for every setbacks that you will face, it will become much easier for you to deal with setbacks. Okay? And I will not going to discuss the whole details about resilience here in this episode, but I will suggest for you to go back and re-listen to it. If you haven't listened to it, go back into episode number 9 titled Resilience to give you some insights and some examples and some directions how to learn and hone the skills. And you will learn a lot of stuff in there. So just go back to number 9 titled Resilience, and we talk about that in great details, okay? So when you know how to use resilience, that's going to be your antidote. I call it antidote when you feel like giving up. Okay? So now, in summary, keep in mind that setbacks are only temporary. Always have been, always will be. The truth is everyone has them. It is a matter of how we solve them and how we manage them when they come. They're not going to go away. It's just a matter of how we face them, how we manage them, how we deal with them mentally and emotionally, and how we proceed with it, and how we pursue our own bigger picture, right? So focus on working on something bigger and better. Take the big picture. Keep your eyes on the ultimate goals, on what you want out of life. It will then help you out to become inspired and motivate you to keep going, no matter how many setbacks that you will face along the way. And also, don't give up. When you give up because of the few setbacks, you will risk your chance to obtain your bigger and better future. I don't know if that's the thing that you're willing to risk, right? And when you experience feeling of giving up, get your antidote, which is your resilience. It will help you to push through. You push through it and get back at it again quicker and faster. Quicker and faster. Again, I thank those friends and followers that we have either on Facebook and my friends outside of social media. And without their comments, really, without their comments, insights, and sharing with me what they are going through with some of their setbacks, I won't be able to create something like this. And they have given me the inspiration and the courage to do so and create something. And for that, I am very thankful, very grateful for that opportunity. Okay? And to our listeners, I hope these lessons can help you in some ways, and in hopes will serve you as your guide when dealing with setbacks. Okay? So in closing, just a few reminders. If this is your first time tuning in into our podcast, I thank you and welcome you to our growth journey. You are tuning in because perhaps someone referred you to our podcast, or you have had found us in a website or via ad, maybe. Whatever the reasons might be, you are tuning in because you knew that you can be more and you have potential to grow, but you just don't know where to start or where to begin and who can help you out to get there. I'm glad you're here and made that decision. So feel free to subscribe or follow. You will get notification when you do that and when you upload, and keep up to date for the few or new episodes that we will release every Sundays, and you can listen to it anytime you want. That's the beauty of it, of the podcast. Also, if you think this podcast had helped you in some ways, had inspired you and given you courage, please share this podcast to anyone you know, to anyone, any family, friends, colleagues, your neighbors, or people you just met somewhere, or whoever. Feel free to share this podcast so they too can learn for all the lessons that we are learning here. So no matter how old they are, experienced or young they are, everyone needs to grow, right? And we have plenty of room to grow and improvement and practice on abundance mindset and beginner's mindset. There are so many things that we can learn along the way, especially in our life and in this world. When you do share our podcast to someone, you too are making a difference to their lives. Our goal of this podcast is to make an impact and make a difference to the lives of others, in one person at a time, one community at a time, and one nation at a time. The last piece is that I will mention that if you would like to start investing in your own personal growth and take this complimentary podcast episode to the next level and help you to become more and to be more, take that next step and forward and join our membership program. As a trainer, coach, mentor, I am now opening the opportunity for you all to join our membership club, and all our deeper dive on teaching on 15 invaluable laws of growth today matters, and deeper dive on connecting to help you to become a better connector, leadership to become a better leader for your team, or become a better salesperson so you can sell everything you want, and more importantly, to expand your personal growth and development. So this is for you. In our premium membership subscription, we will provide many tools and resources available to you to equip you and to help you to reach your full potential. I will share many resources and tools that is available to our premium membership and many bonuses offerings. To learn more, you can visit our podcast website at www.sherylhart.padbean.com. To sign up, you have to be in this website. Our premium membership are now not available to iTunes or Google Play. You won't see it there. So you have to go to the www.sherylhart.padbean.com to sign up and to get more details, okay? So this information is also listed via text box for your reference. So if you want to scroll down, I'll provide the link for you there as well. So if you truly want to invest in your own personal growth and would like to improve as to where you are today and where you want to be, join us, and I look forward to see you there. You can also reach me via email address at sheryl@sheryliheart.com. So with that, again, always remember, if you don't invest in your own personal growth, no one will. Take care and be well.